This is Jesús Manuel Mena Garza. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you are at. In this edition, I'm going to be talking about buying a travel trailer, Class A, B, C, toy hauler, etc., etc. Fifth wheel. The list goes on in the RVing world. What is going to determine what you're going to buy? This is essentially a video for newbies. I've been doing a lot of research over the last decade on RVs, and I am an RV owner, and I've had a Class B also. So I have some experience. I'm not an expert. This is my opinion, okay? So there's three things I'm going to be talking about, three essentially simplified points, okay? I would recommend checking out other videos and see what other people have to say. Of course, I don't want you listening to the RV salesman. They're going to try to sell you whatever they have on the lot and try to sell you something. Maybe that's not in your budget, okay? So that's the first point. What is your budget? Travel trailers range in price from about $15,000 to $2 million. What's your price point? What are you willing to pay? And typically, I recommend paying in cash. You can get a loan, of course you can, but a lot of the times that RV loan is going to be rather expensive, okay? So what is your budget? My budget, I determined from different parameters, from discussions with my wife, is that she didn't want me to spend too much money on an RV because she wanted me to buy other stuff. She wanted the money not spent on an RV could be spent on our next home, okay? So you decide. Do you want a super fancy RV or a cheap ass home somewhere? It's your choice. But some of us don't have to make those decisions. I got a ton of money. I'm going to buy whatever I want. You know, that's how I roll, okay? So you have to determine what is your budget. What can you live with? Typically, again, you have to understand about an RV as compared to a home or other investments. If you put your money in the stock market, typically it's going to go up. If you put your money in a home, it's typically going to go up and up and up, typically. Okay, but an RV, what is that going to happen when you plop down your cash? It's going to go down. In fact, precipitously. If you want to go back to that RV dealership, hey, I bought this RV for $50,000. Can I trade it out on a new design? I don't like this RV anymore. Can I buy something? Yeah, I'll give you $20,000 for it. Don't be shocked by that. Again, a depreciating asset, you have to decide that's essentially going to be a toy, something fun to do once in a while to be an RVer. Okay, so you have to determine that. It's going to be primarily stored for most folks. Okay. 2, your lifestyle. What do you plan to use that RV for? Some of us are going to live full time in it. We're going to retire. We're going to get that fifth wheel and that gigantic truck, and we're going to travel all over the United States, go to Florida, go to California, go to Montana, maybe even go to Baja. We're going to travel a hell of a lot, and we're going to buy a nice new home. Essentially, this is going to be our home. So since it's going to be your home, you're going to spend a little bit extra for it. You're not going to buy something cheap, typically, okay? So that's your lifestyle. Or some other folks are just going to be using it once in a great while, maybe 3-4 weekends a year. That's all. So you don't want to spend that much money. You want to spend less money on that RV because you're not going to be using it that much. And you have a family, or you're not a family. Maybe you're just single and you just want to do some adventuring. You want to go off grid. You want to go down that dirty road and get all dusty. Something some people's partners might not appreciate. So you have to decide what are you going to do with that RV. Again, typically most RVs are only used 3, 4, 5 weekends a year, okay? And some people use them all year round. So you have to determine, are you going to use it a lot or very, 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 very little? You have to determine that, okay? 3 is how many people in your group? Is it just you? You don't have to deal with anybody else saying, nah, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. You can do that. So you have to determine if you're an individual and you're a loner. There's a lot of loners on YouTube. I see ladies that are loners, men that are loners. You know, they're all just going anywhere they want. They have a lot of freedom. Then again, you have people that are couples and they go to more typically more conservative places. You know, they go to Yellowstone, they go to beaches in Florida. They don't live off-grid as much as the loners do, okay? That's my impression, okay? So if you have a family, if you have a big family, you're going to have to buy a bunkhouse or something that can handle a family. Maybe you only have one child, maybe you have 5 children. Some of you have big families. So again, the 3 things I would consider when purchasing an RV. Again, these are good general points and to understand. And you have to self-realize what you're capable of paying because of your budget. Number 2, what is your lifestyle? What are you going to use this RV for? Have you seen everybody going off grid and having a great time? But then eventually you say, I bought an RV that can't go off grid because of suspension. So if it bounces down the road, everything inside is going to fall out. The cabinets are going to fall out. The dishes are going to fall out. The suspension is going to fall apart. Okay, so you have to determine your budget, your lifestyle, and of course, how many are there of you? If it's just you, you decide what you want. You don't have to worry about somebody else or your significant other or the family member saying, "Hey, we want a room for us. We need a place to sleep too," etc., etc. So, on a budget, if you're on a budget, you have to determine how you're going to finance it. Some of us have money in the bank. Personally, when I bought my last RV in December of 2021, I saved money for a couple of years, and then I had that money, and I plopped it down at the RV dealership, and I got my RV. That was that, okay? And but some of you want to have, buy something a little bit more expensive. Wow, super expensive. You're gonna, make payments. I would recommend contacting a bank, see what they offer. If it's 4, 5, 6, 2%, who knows what the interest rate is, and you can find out what they're willing to give you a loan at. Okay. Then you go to the RV dealership, and they're going to say, "Hey, we can give you a discount. Plus, we can give you a nice loan rate." And you're going to say, "I want the discount, but I don't want the loan from you folks." Okay, the discount just went away. Sorry about that. I've seen that quite often. I remember when I was considering buying my last RV, I went to the dealership. I contacted one of the local dealerships, and they said, "We'd prefer if you not pay cash. Can you get a loan from us? We can give you a discount if you get a loan from us." And I said, "Nah," so I went somewhere else. And that's a harsh reality of a lot of dealing with a lot of dealerships. They just make money on 2 things: the RV and the loan. So they want to get you both ways. Okay, so that's something to consider when you're buying an RV. And what's your what how good your credit rating is, and some of you have poor credit ratings, and some of you have good credit ratings. I mean, great credit ratings. So I've seen it at dealerships, people begging, "Can you sell me that RV? I'll be willing to pay whatever interest rate you have. I just want that RV. I love it." Of course, they're going to raise the price of that RV, and they're going to give you a high interest loan and say, "Hey, yeah, we can do that." So you had to find yourself in a situation where you can afford to buy a toy. An RV, typically for most people, is a toy. Some people live in their RVs. That's not a toy. That's their home. But a lot of people, it's a toy to go to that national park, that state park, that county park, to the beach, etc., etc. And what is your lifestyle? I've met a lot of different people who have like these 4-wheel monstrosities that cost almost $1.5 million, and they're going down there, and they're parked at some on the beach over here in near Corpus Christi. And I go, "Man, that's a nice little vehicle." Yeah, it's priced nice too. Then I see people with some nice SUVs and towing some tiny little compact little pop-ups. Very nice. Whatever you can afford, there's a lot of different options available according to your needs. Again, you can't buy a big towable if you have a puny truck. Harsh reality, okay? Find out what your truck can tow. You can contact the dealership. They can read the VIN, and they'll say, you can tow 5,000 pounds. Or you can tow 30,000 pounds. Wow, that's a big difference, huh? Big difference. So if you only can tow 5,000 pounds, you're going to buy an RV that's a travel trailer, little travel trailer, maybe 3,500, 4,000 pounds dry, and load it up. You add another 500, 600, 700 pounds, and you can call it good. So you have to make choices regarding your lifestyle, okay? If you're going to go off grid, you can't get a cheap ass suspension. Travel trailer or RV. You have to get something that's pretty sturdy. I've seen brands that say they're off-grid capable, but they got the most rudimentary suspension, and I would not buy that and go down that rutted road for any extended period of time. Maybe for 1 minute I can go down that rutted road, but not for 5, 10, 15 minutes. I was recently offered a job in New Mexico at a national park to work near Chaco Canyon. So the road to get there is about 20, 30 minutes down a rutted road. And I read so many stories of people's RVs being trashed. So I had to tell them, my modest Rockwood Mini Lite 2205 with its nice suspension, but it's not an off-road suspension in any way or form. I can't take that job because I'm afraid my cabinets are going to fall apart, my refrigerator door is going to come out, and things are going to go south, and I'm going to have to fix, that RV. That's not a good idea, my travel trailer. So I watch videos by Slim Potato Head and Bex the Cat Herder, and they have small, RVs. Typically, they both have a fiberglass molded RVs that are under 20 feet long, very small. So they know where their stuff is. That's my stuff to go take a shower. There's my cooking stuff, and there's my camera equipment. There's my clothes. It's a very small, travel trailer that they're towing. But if you have a family with a lot of toys, you like to go off the grid and ride your little motorcycles, etc. You need something that haul that stuff. It ain't going to be hauled in those little tiny fiberglass molded travel trailer. You need something bigger. So you have different options for different individuals. And then if you come from an upscale experience, you actually come from money, upper middle class, wealthy or whatever, and you're used to nice stuff. So you buy yourself a nice 40-foot Class A or 40-foot fifth wheel, or a nice, very nice toy hauler, and you cruise around in that, or some other kind of RV. So you have options. So it's what you're used to. I'm used to living a rather modest existence. So this is my video. Hope you like it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them below. Abajo. I would greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. Muchas gracias a todos ustedes. And if you have a chance, and if you have the cash, and if you have the ability, check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/JMMGARZA. This has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza. Hope you're doing fantastic. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.